This is Movie Geek, and today I'm going to be talking about television. On the 23rd of November 2013, the United Kingdom, along with the BBC and BBC Worldwide, joined forces in celebrating the 50th year of the longest running science fiction television show, Doctor Who. If you're watching this, then you'll probably watched the 50th anniversary special, and wow, what an episode. Written by Stephen Moffat and starring Matt Smith, David Tennant, and the recently late great John Hurt as the Doctor from different points in his long life. The setup was a brilliant episode named The Name of the Doctor, highlighting that the Doctor will eventually die. When he does, his remains will tear into his time stream, where an outsider can enter any point of the Doctor's life. Clara, the 11th Doctor's companion played by Jenna Coleman, enters this time stream to save the Doctor's life. She succeeds, but becomes stuck at the end of his life. Well, a studio that looks like an alien quarry. I personally think that it should have been a shaky corridor, but that's just me. The Doctor enters his own time stream to save Clara, but before she passes out, she sees an incarnation of the Doctor that she has never seen before. The mysterious Doctor starts to speak, and as he turns, bold letters emblazon the screen that read, "Introducing John Hurt as the Doctor." This bombshell came after a very lackluster series, but this must be down to the fact that Moffat was concentrating on the 50th anniversary episode, right? The 50th episode happened 8 years after this fantastic and successful relaunch under the reigns of Russell T Davies, and with it came the return of the Time Lord. In 2005, the Doctor returned to Earth, having destroyed both the Time Lords and the Dalek. He was the last of the Time Lords. Christopher Eccleston makes reference to having recently regenerated by looking in the mirror and stating, "Could have been worse. Look at the years." We haven't seen this regeneration, and in an attempt to not alienate the new viewers, the makers decided to go with a brand new Doctor, aptly named the 9th Doctor. Obviously following on from Paul McGann's 8th Doctor, right? Anyway, back to the 50th special. The Doctor is reunited with his old selves, the 10th Doctor, and the newly introduced hidden War Doctor. The Doctor whom fought in the Time War between the Time Lords and the Daleks. The Doctor played by John. The special culminates with the three Doctors discovering that they can revert the destruction of Gallifrey, or at least realise that it wasn't destroyed at all. Using some wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey technobabble, we realise that the Daleks are surrounding Gallifrey and firing everything they can. Using the three Doctors' TARDIS, they plan to send Gallifrey out of our universe to a pocket universe. The calculations for this is said to take centuries. The Doctor begins the calculations in his first incarnation, and we get a spectacular scene where every one of the Doctor's incarnations appear to come and save Gallifrey. This scene is elaborated further with the addition of an unknown 13th Doctor, played by Peter Capaldi. It wasn't expected, but it was greatly received. And despite loving Matt Smith's 11th Doctor, we couldn't wait for Capaldi to take over. An older Doctor was something that we hadn't seen in the relaunch series. And with the added bonus that the 12th Doctor was going to be played by Peter Capaldi, that was something to look forward to. The special ended with Gallifrey lost and the Doctor meeting a curator played by Tom Baker, whom, it is suggested, is a future incarnation of the Doctor who has taken on the form of one of the old favourites. He says to the Doctor that he has a lot to do, and the 11th Doctor takes this as a hint to go looking for Gallifrey. This is brilliant because we have one version of the Doctor, our current Doctor, being told by an older Doctor, the curator, that his work was just beginning, that he would be going to look for Gallifrey once and for all. I saw this as a hint at the direction that Smith's Doctor would be going. Thanks to the BBC, we had already found out that Capaldi was going to take over and Smith was going to step down. So Capaldi's Doctor will be the one who was to focus his efforts on finding Gallifrey. And you know what? I like that idea. We then got a week send-off for Matt Smith, but with the addition of an across-time phone call to Clara from the 11th Doctor, and coming off the back of the 50th special, it did get a pass. Capaldi's feature-length premiere episode was excellent. It set up an older, darker, cranky Doctor who we didn't know if we could trust. It was new and exciting after David Tennant and Matt Smith. I mentioned earlier that the 7th series was slightly lackluster due to the fact that Moffat was concentrating his efforts on the 50th anniversary special. But as I watched series 8, it became clear that Moffat, his writing had dropped. He began using tropes that he'd used time and time again. He wrote characters as mere catchphrases or titles and just seemed to be losing interest in the series, which he professed to love. The Series 8 arc was a return of the Master, now named Missy, as the regeneration from John Sim had made the Master a woman, which is a concept Moffat had been hinting at throughout his tenure as showrunner. Missy's plan was to capture all the dying souls throughout the history of Earth and collect them up for uploading and conversion to a new race of Cybermen. All well and good, And I will say that a lot of the writing was good. But with Capaldi as the Doctor, he just seems to have been wasted. The setup for the Doctor finding Gallifrey had been dropped for a more Monster of the Week, Missy-orientated story. Missy did tell the Doctor to go and look for Gallifrey in its rightful place, but it was a lie. And that was all we had, that series. Okay. It's Capaldi's first series. I suppose they needed to warm up to him becoming the Doctor. Tennant's first series was rubbish compared to series 3. So on with series 9 and the hunt for Gallifrey, and oh, Missy's back with a double episode of the Dalek. Okay. Again, as with series 8, we had some good episodes which weren't written by Moffat, but as with series 8, Capaldi was wasted in the role. Writing was dull. He was reduced to playing guitar using sonic sunglasses. Sonic sunglasses. Why? You have Peter Capaldi, a man who loves the Doctor so much that he refers to himself as Doctor Who. He stated that he wanted the original Cybermen back. And you know what? That would have been amazing. Why do we have to see an updated version of the Cybermen? Why not listen to someone who loves the franchise and is in effect fresh blood into a series that has become slightly stagnated? I'll admit that when Matt Smith was announced, I was not a fan. But after the 11th hour, I was hooked, and will state that he became one of my favourite Doctors. When Capaldi was announced, I was immediately a fan, but after 2 series and 3 Christmas specials, it feels as though Capaldi has been completely wasted and let down due to the writing. It feels as though he has just become the Doctor, and that he hasn't had chance to flex his muscle. The 12th Doctor did find Gallifrey though. At the end of a superb episode, Heaven Sent, which was written by Stephen Moffat, after the initial buzz that he had arrived back on Gallifrey after 4 billion years spent inside a confession dial, it starts to deflate, and the ease in which Gallifrey was found appeared rushed and a bit of a letdown. It now seems that the hunt for Gallifrey that was hinted at by the curator wasn't particularly hard. It reeked of Moffat wanting to tie up his loose ends before he leaves, and in so doing he rushed it, giving us a Gallifrey that has pulled itself back into the universe at some point before that episode by itself. On the 30th of January 2017, it was announced that Peter Capaldi would be leaving the role during the 2017 Christmas special. What more can be said? Capaldi's statement was, and I quote, "One of the greatest privileges of being Doctor Who is to see the world at its best. From our brilliant crew and creative team working for the best broadcaster on the planet, to the viewers and fans whose endless creativity, generosity and inclusiveness points to a brighter future ahead. I can't thank everyone enough. It's been cosmic." Now, it's unclear if he's decided to step down, or he's coming to the end of his contract, or if it's in Chris Chibnall's contract to start Series 11 with a brand new Doctor. It's a shame, because it would have been nice to see how Chibnall would handle Capaldi's Doctor. The one good thing about Series 8 and Series 9 was Peter Capaldi. Moffat's writing had significantly dropped from him writing some of the best episodes during Russell T Davies' time as showrunner, and Moffat having a good start as showrunner, but with convoluted stories and some that sometimes didn't pay off. He seemed to lose the drive to write good story. Moffat has stated in the past that he finds it hard to juggle Doctor Who and Sherlock, and you can see in his writing for both shows that he is stretched. He hasn't got any new ideas. At the end of Series 9, Doctor Who was placed on a break due to Chibnall not being available to start in 2016. This was a good thing. It has given Moffat a break, giving him more time to plan Series 10, and hopefully allowing him the time to not rush things and plan Series 10 out properly. Series 10 will be Peter Capaldi's last, and hopefully it will be his best. Only time will tell. Please like, share and subscribe if you've liked this video. If not, please like, share and subscribe anyway. I've been a Movie Geek. Or should that be the TV Geek? I'll see you next time.